In the last episode, we have seen the sets example and certain different types of sets, and also we have discussed the two subsets. Subset is a set in which every element of that set is an element of another set. If we have two sets, then A is a subset of B if every element of A is an element of B. If every element of A is an element of B. And in that case, we say A is a subset of B, and in that case we denote this by A subset of B. This is by this. This means A subset of B. Every element of A belongs to this B. This can be indicated by the symbol or the expression. This X element of A implies X element of B. X element of A implies X element of B. Then A is a subset of B. We have seen examples also. And now come to the real numbers. Real numbers is the collection of all real numbers, rational and irrational numbers, and the set of all natural numbers is such that every natural number belongs to the collection of real numbers. That is, if n is the collection of natural numbers, r is the collection of real numbers, then every element of this n is an element of this r. Every natural number is a real number, and therefore this n subset of this r. N subset of r. Set of all whole numbers, subset of this r. Integers, subset of this r. Set of rational numbers, subset of this r. Every rational number is a real number. So every rational number belongs to the collection of real numbers, the set of real numbers. So rational numbers is a subset of real numbers. Similarly, consider the intervals. Interval is a subcollection of the collection of real numbers, subset of the set of real numbers. We have various types of intervals: closed interval, open interval, and also we have half open intervals. A closed interval is usually denoted by this symbol, this A, B, in this form. Open interval in this form. This closed interval A, B means the A and B are real numbers, and that this interval consists of all real numbers between A and B, including this A and B. Including this A and B. The end points, A and B are the end points, and that A and B belongs to this interval. And this is clearly a subset of the set of all real numbers. So this is a set, this itself is a set, and it is clearly a sub-part. Every member in this interval is a member of the collection of all real numbers. So this is a subset of the collection of all real numbers. In this Archibald form, this interval can be written in this form. This AB, this interval AB, which is equal to collection of this all x such that this A less than or equal to x less than or equal to B. So this collection is interval, closed interval AB. This includes this end points A and B. And now this interval is open interval in the sense that the end points A and B do not belong to the collection, belong to the set. A and B, this end points not included in this relation. All real numbers between this A and B belongs to this. Interval means no number in between this end point can be excluded. No number, real number in between these end points can be excluded, no number. That is interval. All real numbers in between this A and B included. In this case, end point is also included. In this case, end points not included. All other real numbers excluding A and B belongs to this, and therefore this indissociable form is this interval AB is equal to set of all x such that A less than x less than B. Here this x cannot take the value A and also this B. So this is the open interval. And also we have the half open intervals. So first one is this AB and the other is AB. This means this end point A is included in this and B is not included. This right end is open and the left end is closed. Closed means that end point is included. And here this left point A is not included and this B included in this set. And therefore this AB is equal to set of all x such that this A less than or equal to x is less than B. And the other is this AB is equal to set of all x such that A less than x less than or equal to B. So these are the intervals. And these intervals are clearly subsets of the set of real numbers. Subsets of the set of real numbers. This A and B can be any real number. Any real number. But remember that in the case of intervals, we cannot exclude a real number in between the end points. We can exclude if we want the end points. Both the end point can be excluded from the interval, or one end point can be excluded from the interval. No other real number in the interval can be excluded. That is interval. Interval consists of continuous points between the end points. Okay, so that is the case of these intervals. And now there comes the term power set of a set. Power set of a set. Power set. Suppose A is a set, capital A is a set. Then the power set of this A is denoted by the symbol PA. Power set of A is denoted by symbol PA. And this PA is defined as the set of all subsets of A. This set of all subsets of A, which is power set. Set of all subsets. For example, consider this A, which is equal to this 1, 2, 3. The number is 1, 2, 3. Then consider the subsets of this A, visit A, all possible subsets. Empty set is a subset of all sets. Therefore, this phi is a subset of A. And now consider this 1, the single number 1 taken as a set. This is a subset of this A. Then 2 alone is a subset of this A. Then 3 alone is a subset of this A. So, one number at a time taken, we get 3 subsets. Then take 2 numbers from this 3. Then 1, 2 is a subset. 2, 3 is a subset. 1, 3 is a subset. So pairwise we can have 3 such sets. And again 3, taking only 3 together, we get this 1, 2, 3. And these are the possible subsets, all the possible subsets of distinct subsets of this. And therefore, this is the power set of A. That is, this PA is equal to set of this phi A, B, C, no, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This is the power set. And now remember that the elements of this power set are sets. This set, this one, this is a member of this BA. This is a member of this BA, an element of this BA. But remember, this one, this is not a member of this BA. This is a member of this A, this is A. Member of this A. 1 is a member of A, 2 is a member of A, 3 is a member of A. But 1 not a member of PA, 2 not a member of PA, 3 not a member of PA. But the set consisting of this 1, this is a member of PA. That is, if we want this 1 in this PA, that should be accepted as a set. That is, we have to use this bracket. Then only this will become a set consisting of one element, the number 1. So this is a member of PA, this is not a member of PA. This one is a member of A, but this one, this set to 1, not a member of A. This one not a member of this A. This one is member of A. And in the case of this is a member of A. This set to 1 is a member of this PA. And this not a member of this PA. And this is the power set. Collection of all subsets of the set A is A. And also there is a result which says the number of elements of the power set. If A consists of this n elements, then it is symbolically denoted by this NA. If this A consists of 10 elements, then NA is equal to 10. The number of elements of A denoted by this NA is 10. If this A consists of 3 elements, then NA is equal to 3. Here, this NA is equal to 3. 3 elements, 3 members. And if A element of n elements, this PA consists of 2 raised to n elements. There is a specific method to prove this number of subsets of this A, PA is 2 raised to n, but you need not study that, only remember this. If A consists of n elements, then PA, the power set, consists of 2 raised to n elements. the number of subsets of this A is 2 raised to n in number. So consider this. Here we have 3 elements. So number of elements of or number of subsets of this A is 2 raised to 3. 2 raised to 3 is 8. So consider this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 subsets. 2 raised to n elements in this PA. So this is the power set, definition of power set. And now there comes another set which is the universal set. So universal set. Universal set. So suppose we are considering sets. Then there is or there will be a set such that the sets we consider are subsets of that set. Or if we consider sets of any objects, then there will be a set such that the sets we consider are subsets of that set. That set will be a larger one, or the largest possible set, such that the sets under consideration are subsets. There will be a large set, a supermost set we may say, such that the sets under consideration are subsets of that set. Then that set, supermost set, the largest set, is called the universal set. For example, suppose we consider the sets of natural numbers. Our sets under consideration are sets of natural numbers. Then the supermost set, the largest set, so that the sets under consideration are subsets, is the set of all natural numbers. If we consider any set of natural numbers, that will be a subset of the set of all natural numbers. In that case, the universal set is the set of all natural numbers. If we consider real numbers, sets of real numbers, then in that case the universal set is the collection of all real numbers. And now if we consider numbers only below 1000, only numbers below 1000, numbers means real numbers, then the universal set in that case is all the real numbers below 1000. All the real numbers below 1000. If we consider real numbers only between 0 and 1000, only between 0 and 1000, in that case the universal set is the real numbers from 0 to 1000. No other real number will come into our discussion. No possibility. And therefore the supermost set in that case is the collection of all real numbers from 0 to 1000. So in that case, it is the universal set. And hence we can see that the universal set depends upon our consideration. What are the sets we consider, discuss? Depending upon that consideration, that discussion, we can have the universal set. Universal set. That is the definition of a universal set. Universal set is the largest set or the supermost set, such that all the sets under consideration, discussion are subsets of that set. That is the universal set. And now there comes the geometrical representation of sets. Geometrically we can represent a set. We have seen how to represent a collection geometrically. A line, which is a collection of points in a plane. We can have its representation in the form of an equation in the plane. A linear equation in two variables x and y will represent a straight line. That is the algebraic form of the representation of a line. The two variables x and y will be the coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate of every point of that line. For example, this 2x plus 3y, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 or plus 5 is equal to 0. This represents a straight line. That means this collection, this is the collection of all points xy, all points xy in the plane, such that 2x plus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. So all the points of this line in the set form can be represented in this way, consists of all x, y, such that this 2x plus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. So this is the collection. And the geometrical representation means is the graph of the line. Suppose this is the line, this is the graph of this, then the geometrical representation of this is, or geometrical representation of this set is this. Similarly, we can have the geometrical representation in any form. The geometrical representation of a set is defined and developed by the English mathematician John Venn. John Venn. And he represented the sets in this form. The sets are denoted by closed regions, usually rectangles and circles. The universal set is denoted by a rectangle, and all the other sets which are clearly subsets of the universal set are denoted or represented by circles within the rectangle. So the universal set is denoted by this rectangle. Usually the letter U is used to denote the universal set. This U universal set U. So this is U. And the subsets of this U, universal set, denoted by closed regions, usually circles. So this is, say, set A, which is subset of this universal set. This is set B, subset of this universal set. Closed regions. Any set can be represented like this. Or if we have number of sets, all those sets can be represented like this within the universal set. Universal set is usually denoted by, represented by a rectangle, and all subsets we consider represented by circles within the universals. So these circles come within the universal set means clearly it is subset of U. All elements of this A are elements of this U. All elements of this U belongs to this U, and other sets under consideration are all subsets of this U, represented by these closed regions, usually circles. Usually circles. And therefore, for example, suppose we consider the sets of natural numbers. Then the universal set is this. Or this U is equal to n natural numbers. And suppose this A is equal to say 1, 2, 3, and B is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this universal set is denoted by N or U, and this A and B are closed circles. This is A and this is U. And if this A and B consists of finitely many elements, and if it is possible to write all the numbers, then we can write within this A. So 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. If it is possible to write within this region. If this A and B contains more number, more elements, then practically it is difficult. In that case, we do not write that numbers within this closed region, we leave it blank. So A and B, that's all. If we want to express or indicate the elements of this A and B, we use separate expressions like this in the tabular form, in the roster form, or we can make use of the set builder form. Separately write and indicate the elements. In the Venn diagram, this is called the Venn diagram. And this Venn diagram usually do not express its elements, only express the set as a whole by closed circles like this. Closed circles. And the region within this A represents the elements of this A. The region B represents the elements of this B. And the region within this U, this rectangle, indicates all the natural numbers. All the natural numbers. Okay, so this is Venn diagram. Okay, and now there comes few more results. We can have those results in the next episode. Okay.